Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome once again to another session where we get to talk about Connect and all the tools that make up Connect. All right, my name is Itwen, and please, I need confirmation if you guys can see me and hear my screen. So just give me a one confirmation on the chat or a thumbs up, whether you can see my screen
Yes,
or.
we can see you, we can hear you, and your screen
All
is
right,
live.
thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay, so today we focus on Homnify Backoffice. And this is a continuation of the series that we had about 3 weeks ago, where we explored the first half of the menu, which is what you're seeing here. At all. Let me just get there. So this is what you're seeing here, the first half of the menu. Okay, and let me see if I can move this out of here. Okay, good. So we're able to discuss about this. So we had the home, we had the wallets. Like this is where all your transactions are. If you needed to buy a new product within Homnify, shop Hurry Small is the option. And for all the various minters you've had, right from the era of Cloud K and your Nodec machines, you get to see them under 360 DeFi. Okay, so if you click on Node K, you get to see what you're minting. And if you have a physical device already delivered to you, you will see that it is ticked here and it is showing you paired. So if you bought a physical device from 500 upwards and it has not yet arrived, not to worry, you're still earning your rewards. Okay, but it will show you either in transit and it will give you an option to pair here. Okay, so you just wait for it. The advantage is that once it comes to you, you're able to receive 10% more minting tokens every day or 10% added to what you're supposed to mint. So that's the advantage of having the Airstream or having the Omnify physical devices. So if you scroll a little bit down, you get to see all the transaction histories around the particular minter. If you have two minters, they'll definitely be showing here. So you have another minter shown here. If you have three, all of them will just keep showing up here. Okay. If you had the Cloud K licenses and they were there, or you had your LFI, LK1 phone, yes, LK1 phone, you get to see them here. Okay, so each of them are still active. I think they have 3 years. So you get to see, if you click on the view all, just like you said, you get to see where they are, the status of how they are minting, the limits, and the expirations. Okay, you can get to see them here. And like I said, if you had not thought about, if you did not fill up those licenses, you have the auto link button that you can fill it in. So if you auto link this, it will just keep on adding your rewards every single day, and it's compounding for you. So if you've not taken a look at this, please go to your back office and have that done. And then we also touched a bit on the USDK, where there's an opportunity for you to be able to deposit USDK and earn LayerK tokens. Okay, so the DSDK will be held for a certain period defined by you. All right, so this account has about 10 free USDK tokens. Yeah, and we can just initiate one. Just a very simple initiation. You say you want to link, right? You can indicate that you want to link, and it gives you an option of you select the token, you select your link period. So maximum is 5 years, and then you have 2 years, 3 years. Each of them have their different minting percentages, right? In terms of ROI. So let's say we decide to put 5 USDK here. Okay, and then we link it, and you can see it's successfully done. So if you have spare USDK, you're not thinking of wanting to buy any minters with it, okay, or you don't want to load with LayerK tokens, you can put it here and it's earning for you every single day. And so what I've also done is that I've also had the auto compound working for me. So At any point in time, it's active every day. It's be generating rewards. So tomorrow, obviously, you get to see rewards generated by this. So that's about the ownership, co-ownership of this particular blockchain. We've looked at Omnify reports, ability for you to pull out several reports. Community gives you a chance to see what your team is doing. Okay. We had the global pool that talks about SNGP. And remember, like we said, SNGP is like shares, okay, for those people that have bought the machine, the physical machine. So this will be distributed after all the machines have been sold. And it makes a lot of sense for you to have one. If you have a physical minting machine, then obviously you already have yours secured, okay? Country pool, again, for those who are taking advantage of their country pools, remember these, for a certain number of minters in a particular location, you receive rewards generated from everybody linking, everybody minting in that location. Okay, so there are some criteria for that, and we've covered that in a different lecture, awareness session, and that has to do with the relationship expanding, okay, and how to build your team. So you get to see the country pool. So once it's up and active, then you definitely get to see the rewards here. Okay, external apps, summary of that were all the other apps. So there are some of them, their links are here, but you can have to get to see them here. K-Meetings, when you click on K-Meetings, it will lead you straight to the normal wallet and it will ask you to connect from there on. Quantwise, still up and running. If you have not withdrawn, did the Quantwise if you did the quantwise trading, AI trading stuff, you have an opportunity to withdraw. I think because it has stopped that strategy, so you could withdraw. So you need to go check again your back office in order for you to get that out. Okay. Very small, like I said, is a shop. But then if you have vouchers, of course, your vouchers tell you opportunities, promos you can participate in. And okay, so this was Quantwise, and we used this then, and it's, still, I think it's okay, it's expired, but it's still active. It's active. So this was supposed to be an infinity, right? So all-time reward. So that's why it's still active. And then you can see your redeem and expired vouchers. Okay, we took a look at LayerK. LayerK was an opportunity where you could participate in smaller project launchpads. Okay, and so for your ability to participate means you need to stake LayerK tokens and keep them for some time. Okay, so lockup period of 2 years, and then you are able to claim them. So it's like holding your tokens, and then they come back to you and you can decide to want to put them in. So if the price of the token increases, then fantastic, it's just holding it for you. But the advantage with having this is that you get a certain percentage allocation in those new tokens. So if there are new tokens that are definitely going to be valuable, you have an opportunity to partake in them. There are other people that will be looking for those opportunities, but they need to come to the Connect platform. They need to have SLARK tokens and they need to stick them in order for them to have that. Else, they'll just be giving the little bits that is given to the public. But this is exclusive. And if you had that, this is where you're going to see your tokens that were staked. Once the period is done, then you can claim those tokens and then convert them into what you want to use them for, right? So that was the summary of the last one. So today we are going to be focused on these aspects, okay? So it's important you take, you pay attention to this and we'll focus on the LayerK DAO. So once you're a member of this community, of course, you have an opportunity for you to participate in the DAO. So DAO is a decentralized autonomous organization, which means that on this decentralized blockchain, you have an opportunity to decide what happens on the blockchain, which has been the bane of existence of blockchains, right? Ability to make decisions and where a centralized party is no longer involved. So in the existing systems, one person takes a decision over what needs to be done. For example, like a president of a country or the governing board of the central bank, just very limited people is not open to all. But on the blockchain, a decentralized autonomous organization means that there's a proposal that is put on the table and everybody gets to vote. And whatever comes out as the the anonymous votes, right? Based on it's of course it's you can see it, you can gauge it, you can see the people voting, right? You may not see their names, but you can see that these are live accounts. People already have vested interest here, and whatever decision is taken, then it's implemented on the blockchain. Okay. So if you've not paid attention to this, it's important you need to pay attention to this because there have been several proposals that have happened over time, right from when this was launched. And you can see that there are 17 proposals. I'll go through those proposals summary so you can have an idea of what it means. And each of those proposals are an opportunity for us to say yes or no to how we want this blockchain to run. Okay. So that was the link earlier shared. You click on it, you go there. But one important thing you need to do is that you need to have your wallet connected. It's very, 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 very important. You need to have your wallet connected there, okay, to the network. And so for you to connect your wallet, we have gone through that before. Of course, you have a MetaMask. You need to connect through MetaMask and have your put in your passphrase. If you have an existing wallet you want to use, you can put in your passphrase. For those coming from the Sapphire community and Expro community who had their Zenic wallets already connected to their minters, okay, so you can use that same wallet here, and that is what will be required here. So all you need to do is when you want to import the wallet into MetaMask, you just get the passphrase from your normal wallet and put it in. It gets to see that immediately. So, and once you have that in, and click on once you have that in, it will ask you to connect. So sample is this. So if you have not connected, this is how the interface will look like. It will ask you to connect your wallet. And once you click on the connect, it will search for a MetaMask extension. And if your wallet is already connected there, it would ask you to select the wallet. If you have different accounts listed here, we have different accounts. All you just need to do is select the right one. So you can have different accounts listed here, and then you just pick the one that is connected to this particular account. Remember that this account is tied to your Homnifi. Okay, so you may have different Homnifi profiles. Each of those profiles you have a different wallet connected to that. So nothing much than just clicking the one or two buttons. So click there, it will connect. It's simple, straight and easy. You don't need to worry about the properties in case it's not seeing that. It will just automatically find the LayerK network, add it into that wallet, and then you're connected. So when you're connected, you have what we call the GLayerK. So that is the gas LayerK or governance LayerK tokens, right? That you are eligible to have. And this is tied towards your tokens, the number of tokens that you have put into the network. That is your stake, your proof of stake, in fact, right? So this is what is here. Okay, so we can show you that it is green and you're already connected. So the next thing you want to do is go to check all the proposals that have been written and what people have suggested should be done in the community. You can search for proposals. You can also create a new proposal if it's something that is of interest to you. You can look at your proposals and you can look at your votes. Okay, so this is where you can participate. This is real participation on the blockchain. This is where you decide things that happen. You didn't have the opportunity on Bitcoin, on Binance, on Ethereum, but here you have the opportunity to do that. So let's take a look at some proposals. So you click on explore proposals. And if you search on it, there are a lot of proposals. So it covers a lot of things. So from SLayerK tokens to how the minters should mint to how long the minter should stay, how the reward should be, anything at all that is of interest to the community, it is put in here and then it is voted on. Okay. So somebody first has to make that initial proposal. And of course, to make the proposal, there are certain terms and requirements that you must have to meet in order to have that done. So I'll just go to some of the first proposals that joined in. And it's important you need to read these proposals because they will give you an idea of what's happening on the blockchain. And if you don't pay attention to it, you see changes on the blockchain and you're wondering why those changes are there. So from the first proposal, you could see this. Somebody proposed that this unlocking of your LayerK tokens from licenses as MLayerK. Okay, so if I just open that a bit, I will not dwell much on this, so you can get to read it. So it was very simple. Somebody said they want to be able to claim LayerK tokens from the licenses as MLayerK. Okay, so this was talking about the LayerK tokens that were on CloudK, right? That were minted. Your rewards are minting every day. They want to claim it as MLayerK and then connect them to their machine. So that is somebody's interest. So from the tokens being minted on the CloudK licenses, the reward should be withdrawn as MLayerK and then put into the new minters. Okay. So this ensures that the token remains locked for a longer period. The option is entirely voluntary and freely selectable if not mandatory. Okay. So once this is up and running, the person who made that proposal is this. Of course, you don't get to see the person. This is the address. This was when the proposal was made, and this is the voting period. Okay, so this account raised that proposal. People voted. So people voted for, people voted against. Okay, and there's a certain number of quorum that needs to be met. Okay, so you can see that the quorum was met, but more people voted no for that. And the result of it was that the proposal was rejected. Okay, so it's democracy, purely transparent. So anybody, you vote your choice, okay, and but there are some people that would vote something different, but you don't get to see anybody's vote. You only get to see accounts that voted, and then from there, um, results will be met. So once the quorum is met and it is passed, of course, once the quorum is met, then there's a decision whether it should go or it should not go. And once that decision has been taken, it is now passed down for implementation. So that is the first one that came. There were others that came. You can take your time and look at it. You can appeal for the immediate release of LayerK tokens. So say someone that felt that holding their tokens for 2 years was too long a period, they needed it out. Okay, so again, people voted against that. Fairer voting mechanisms. So this is quite important for you to read because some people felt that, oh, yes, they can vote for that, but there are some people that hold more votes than others in the ecosystem. So you may want to look that out. System is taking some time to actually open. Okay, so you may want to look that out. Okay, so they want people's voices to be heard based on beyond their token weight. So large token holders obviously are more influential. Yes. So if you have a number of tokens loaded, obviously that makes a lot of sense because you have a larger interest in invested in the blockchain. Okay. So there was a proposal on that, and there's been a lot of proposals. So there are some proposals that were rejected, as you can see. There are some proposals that were rejected. There are some proposals that were passed. So you can see some proposals that were passed. Okay, so adjust the schedule for Homnifi cloud staking. It was passed. Mandatory shipping compliance for computer devices. It was voted on. So if you didn't pay attention to this, then he must have missed out on that. Okay. And so once it is passed, it is now goes into implementation. So that is the importance of why you need to study and you need to read. And if you have a proposal too, because again, nobody understands the mind is it's quite vast in terms of understanding. And everybody on this ecosystem has an idea of what or have their own way of how they want it to grow, right? Which will be positive, and may not be okay to others. So you have an opportunity to make that choice. Okay, so let's see if we have any current one that is still open. Um, so it's loading. So please take your time and go through all those proposals. You get to see an idea. The ones you can't vote on obviously has already been either rejected or passed, but you can take a look at them and then check if they actually meet meet what's been happening on the blockchain. But for every change you've seen on the blockchain currently, all of them had to pass through this DAO. Okay. So this voting has ended. Okay, so most of them voting has ended. There was a recent one update to Supernode generational logic. So you may want to read what this is all about. And there's one that has just been raised. Okay, so somebody raised this one today. Yes, somebody raises this today. So you see that there's a lot of activity here. Temporary suspension of LayerK withdrawals via Homnifi. Okay, so the person had a good reason why they wanted that done. Okay, and so of course this has to pass through before your proposal is put in for a vote. It has to pass through there's some requirements. Okay, that which is the quorum, and then before it goes there. So this is you take your time to read it. So the proposal calls for suspending the withdrawals of the arcade token to external wallets until January. So within Homnify, every system, everything remains usable as usual deposits. So the background is that LayerK currently does not have yet its full practical utility in everyday use, and the ecosystem, especially with the delivery and activation of the device, is still in development. So they all have reasons for and why this proposal needs to be done. So the temporary suspension of withdrawal is intended to stably bridge this transition period. The price is to be protected for short-term or stakers and future gain more from planning. Okay. So the quorum has not yet been reached. So you can see, of course, once the quorum has been met, then that is when voting starts. So that is why you have that under pending. So it's still pending here. So you can see my mouse is still pending. Okay. And once it's there, you have an opportunity to vote. Once the quorum has been met, you have an opportunity to vote. And you may want to go back, read this, understand what it is all about if you're interested in wanting to place a vote. And so once it's up, you see the options here. Please vote yes and for. And when you want to vote, unfortunately, we don't have one open. We have just done a sample vote here. It will require you to sign off on your transaction. So voting means you are definitely aware of what you want to do, and you're signing off on that transaction. So it will require you to, of course, get connected to your wallet and also sign off the transaction with LayerK token. So the gas fee is negligible. So you can use one LayerK token for over 2,000 transactions. It's negligible. Okay. So that's on that. So no proposals on this account. I don't think this account has ever placed a vote. So you can look at this place if you want to know if for the votes you have participated in. So this account has not had any votes yet. So if you want to create a proposal, so you can see here that there is a requirement for creating a proposal. So for you to create a proposal, you would have met a certain level of having the governance LayerK tokens, okay? And the governance LayerK token comes from the amount of LayerK tokens you have put into the ecosystem as evidence for staking. Okay, so it's important for you to know that. And so once you've had that, you can type in whatever proposal it is you want to type in. LayerK renewal fees. And then you can give a description of what it is you want. This is just a test. Just a test. Okay. If there's any information, maybe site or link or something, you can always add that. You choose your voting time, choose the day and everything. And let's say I want this vote to start by 2300 hours. Okay. I want it to start by 2300 hours on 14th, next week, Friday. So you can set that and you can set the time you want it to end. Okay. So for these requirements, the minimum total number of GL LayerK, okay, governance LayerK tokens must participate in voting for the proposal has to be valid. So the minimum is 10,000. So it needs 75,000 tokens to create a proposal. Voting period is 5 days. Minimum quorum must not be less than 10 GL LayerK tokens. Okay. So what it means is that what this place means, and which is quite important, is that if I am to vote, for example, okay, I would have contributed 4,600 governance LayerK tokens to this. Okay, so you will get to see I will get to show you some screens what this means. So once I vote, it picks up this as the total number of my votes. So I have like 4,000 votes in here. Let's put my block vote is 4,000. Okay. And so if somebody else has another, let's say 10,000 watts, so that would be like 14,000. And so if it succeeds over 10,000, that means a vote is made. A decision can be made from that vote, whether it's yes or no. Or sorry, a decision can be implemented from the result of that vote. That's what it means. Okay, so the total amount you have when you put in there increases your voting. Okay, so if it's 10,000 and 10, 15, 20, 30 people or 1 million people vote on the platform, it definitely will now count as a decision making proposal. Okay, so that's about that. So once that is done, you submit for proposal. Okay, and once you submit for proposal, that is when you get to see the pending stage. Okay, so it stays pending for some time. It goes through some vetting, and then it now becomes active. Okay, so just what I wanted to show you then was that let's see. Okay, so a lot of people voted, and you can see that the quorum was 10,000 votes, and this was the total number of votes that were received based on the use participants. Okay, so somebody may have, just like I have 4,600 here, somebody may have 10,000 gas layer governance layer K tokens, another person 20,000. Once that person votes, with 20,000 has already been cast in there, another person votes. And so once that total number gets more than 10,000, then that proposal, whatever decision is taken, is implemented. Okay. So that is how your power is. Okay. So if you're not voting, you're taking away over 4,000 governance layer K token. If you're voting, you're putting 4,000 gas layer K tokens. So you need to check, and this is tied down to the number of layer K tokens that you have staked in your account. Okay. So that's about the LayerK DAO. We've covered basically everything that we need to do. So it's an interactive. You just started sometime in September, and it's gathering momentum, right? So believe you me, before the end of the year, you see a lot of proposals, and it's something you and I and everyone who is a shareholder in this blockchain need to go and be studying and casting your votes. Okay, you need to study and cast your votes. It started sometime in when did we have this? Sometime in September. Yes, it started in September, and it's been gaining momentum. So we have something proposals as at now, and that's about that. Okay, so that is on the LayerK DAO. Okay, so let's go to T-Balance. For T-Balance, for those of us that have these balance sheets available, there's none in this account. You can use them for different products. You can use them in tag for trading, and you can use them for other platforms. So you can see it here. So you have an opportunity to use it as 50-50 deposit. If you are into the tag trading community, if you have this tag T-Balance, you can put it in as 50-50, 50 of your cash and then 50 as credit. You can also send it to somebody who's interested in trading, and that's for that. Quantwise, I shared Quantwise earlier with you. It's for AI trading. Okay, Ramstarter was that is the opportunity where you get to put in or participate in the launch tokens. Okay, so if most of you that were involved in Tomocat back then, this was the platform you needed to get in. LayerK just gave you that opportunity to stake your tokens, and then your information from LayerK. It gave you an opportunity to stake your tokens. So your staking level in LayerK is what is moved into Ramstarter. And Ramstarter is where those new projects come in. The Tomocat ended quite some months ago. Okay, in sometime in 2024. And some people had the opportunity to participate in it, and that's it. So most of the new tokens are coming in that require a community support. What they do is that they go to a blockchain that is well vetted, legal and credible, put in their tokens there, and then give an opportunity to members of that community to partake in buying those tokens at a very, 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 very cheap price. Okay. So that's Ramstarter, and then Connect, obviously, it's your access to your back office. For those of us who still have our X-Pro accounts, remember all you need to do is go to this site, boconnect.ac. okay, and do a reset password using the same password as you have for your X Pro, and that is your new that's your new window into these four products: Homnifi, BXP, DLP, and Node-K. Right. Oh, sorry. What's the last one? Yes. Okay, so that's it. It comes in here. Of course, because we are used to the Homnify site, you can go in directly. But else, your entrance into this ecosystem is via Connect, and then you can go to Centura, Horis, Watts, DLP, BXP, Nodec, and the recovery program. All right, so the last section, we are just wrapping up. So it's important if you have any challenges, support is a very, very great tool. What they have done is that they've been able to segregate into different aspects. So if you want questions on your Homify, you can raise a ticket. RAM starter, Quantwise, each and every one of them can raise a ticket. And you usually get a response from support in about 2 days. Maximum of 2 days, you get support from them. And so they bunched some of they categorized some of the challenges that you may face into sections KYC, transactions, account management, balances, and all that. But you also have an opportunity where if any of these categorizations are not there for you to choose from, then you can write in details what it is that you need. So it's important to go there. And last but not the least is Wiki. If you are looking for a dictionary of how the ecosystem works, this is where you want to go. This is where you have the presentations. This is where you have a breakdown of everything from A to Z. If you have any challenges, this is where you come to, right? And so the Wiki is the Bible of this particular ecosystem. For all the products, they have their wiki, and then you go through them. Please study them. There are reports. There are also reports that come in there. Please study this ecosystem. It gives you an idea. Okay, you can see the gas layer K tokens, what it means, the DAO and the MetaMask connections. You can see all of them is here. So GLK is distributed to wallets that have linked MLayerK within Nodec and CloudK program. So user must connect their wallet to make that done. So you can see that this explains what the DAO is and everything. So please take your time. It's like an office. It's an encyclopedia. You can read and understand what's happening in your back office. It's important everyone here has to go through this. And legal, last but not the least, is gives you the legal aspects, whatever it is you're signing. Those fine lines that you didn't read when you were either doing your migration or you were transiting, all of them is here. Okay. So you can get to read them, terms and conditions, what they mean, each and every one of those things. So if you missed it in a hurry, please come back here and get a look at it, understand what it is you are doing, where you have an opportunity to question. Of course, you can always ask support if you don't understand anything here, right? So, all right, so we've come to the end of our back office demonstration. So, in summary, LayerK DAO, very important. Everything that is going to be happening from now going forward is going to be captured here. So you want to read and understand. If you have a higher stake in here, you can create a DAO, okay, and of course put that up for vote, and people will vote. And once it's passed, automatically it is taken as a decision. Okay, so that is there. You have your T balance, you have your Quantwise. Please, if you did the trading back then in Quantwise, there was an opportunity for us to withdraw our funds because that strategy was no longer available. So please go back, withdraw your funds from there if you've not done so. Ramstarter is there, no update from them yet, and then Connect is it's just a link to the Connect site. And of course, support wiki and legal are important documents you need to read. You need to take your time out and get to read them. Okay. So thank you very much, everyone. This is an opportunity where if you have questions, you can ask, and I'll see how to attend to your questions. Okay. So, do we have any questions? Thank you. Thank you, Phillips. Madam Phillips, thank you so much. Is there any questions? Anyone needs any support? Anyone needs any clarity? You can unmute. I think you have the opportunity to unmute. Yes, you can unmute and ask. Let me see. Yes, you can unmute and ask your questions. Okay. All right. So we don't have idle time. Okay. So again, this presentation is going to be made available for each and every one of us to take a replay, just in case you didn't get to understand that. There'll be a recorded version for you to share, but please, this back office, you need to pay important attention to the back office because this is where your business is. And you need to know more about what is happening in the DAO, those two aspects, the DAO, okay? And then, of course, your DeFi 360, you need to understand what is happening there because a lot of changes will be coming there. For those who have Cloud K, some investment in Cloud K, please also pay attention to that because some DAOs are coming up regarding your token. So you please go back to the DAO and read the previous ones, whether they were passed or not passed. Please just read them. You'll get to understand what is happening on your ecosystem. So so in case there are no questions, I want to thank everyone who attended this call. Thanks for your patience for staying till the end. Madam Phillips, Madam Meg, Marco, Engineer Chooks, and Olinya Sam. Thanks very much for coming in. See you same time next week for another back office demonstration. Please go to your back office and take a look at it. It's fun when you get to know what it is you're doing. So for me, yeah, it's bye for now. Bye, everyone.